Hello people, and welcome to Crypto Exposed. Are Mance Harmon and Leemon Baird leaving Hedera? Not quite. Okay guys, let's get into this. So we've got a post here by Mance Harmon, and I thought I would address this because there were some people asking questions and I can clear this up quite quickly. So thought I'd do this because, it sounds a bit like nerve-wracking and whatnot, but it's really not as bad as it sounds. So let me go through the post first and foremost, and then I can address this real quick. So we have a post from Mance Harmon, and it goes as follows. As Leemon and I step into our new roles as Chief Scientist and Chair of Swirlds Labs, with Eric Pacini taking over as CEO and Charles Adkins joining as President of the network, it is now time to begin a new chapter for Hedera. Next month, Chief Marketing Officer Christian Haska and SVP of Communications of Zenobia Gottschalk will be moving on from Swirlds Labs following their long and storied tenure in market leadership for Hedera. It is difficult to express the extent of my appreciation for what these incredible people have brought to the ecosystem and everything we have accomplished over the many years we've been working together. I speak for many when I give my sincerest thanks and wish you all the best in the future. Okay, so let's just quickly address this head on. They're talking about becoming the Chief Scientist and the Chair of Swirlds Labs. So I'm just going to quickly get to Swirlds Labs profile real quick. So here we go, we've got Swirlds Labs, and what is their job? Accelerate the future on Hedera. So straight away, are they leaving Hedera? No, not exactly, guys. They're going to basically be more going into the Swirlds Labs company. So they are still obviously going to be trying to aid Hedera into advancing as a network. It's more just that than obviously working as like the faces of Hedera. So to me, what this sounds like, just going off of what I can see, it seems like they're not going to be so much doing, all of these like press conferences and stuff like that, and all these meetups and stuff like that. It would seem like there's going to be a new face of Hedera in terms of Mance and Leemon. Okay, so it does seem in that sense you may not be seeing their faces so much anymore, but they're not leaving Hedera, right? So they are still going to be working with Hedera in terms of trying to help them get adoption and stuff like that. So just a quick one here, guys, like try not to worry about this too much. Like, I don't think it's going to be anything that will impact Hedera in a negative way because they are still there working behind the scenes, right? And I'll be honest with you, in terms of Leemon Baird, like, he's the one who, as far as I'm aware, he's the one who's like the real great mind behind Hedera. Like, he's the one who, really helped build the hashgraph and whatnot. So, in a way, would I rather him kind of be getting his head down and doing as much stuff as he can in terms of trying to, come up with new use cases for Hedera, just trying to continue to build on the technology, than kind of keep going to all these meetings and stuff? Probably. Like, it's one of those things where, look, we might say, we're used to Mance and Leemon, these are the guys who we've been seeing at the forefront of Hedera the whole time. So it's what we're used to, right? Sometimes change can be a bit unnerving, right? But I think at the end of the day, the fact that they're still with Hedera and they're still working to obviously build Hedera up, does this really worry me? No, because they're not going away. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, if they were going to a completely different network, then I'd be like, oh, well, who are you being replaced by, right? Because then it's like, well, has these people got the credentials to match up to Mance and Leemon, right? That would be the next thing I would be asking at that point. So, for me personally, I'm not really that concerned in this regard. I think this is still going to be something that will continue to help Hedera anyway. And if anything, it might actually speed up in terms of like adoption and stuff like that, because they can kind of get their hands dirty more now rather than having to keep going to like interviews and stuff like that. And, keep having to be in the face of all these conferences and stuff like that. It's a thing where they can kind of just get their heads down now and focus on what can we do at Swirlds Labs that can help, accelerate Hedera, as it said on their as it says on their description on their profile. So overall, I don't think this is nothing to be overly worried about. I do see there that they talk about Christian Haska leaving. He's the guy who was the marketing officer. I've seen him before. From what I'm aware of, I do feel like Hedera do good marketing. I know a lot of people have said that they could do more. I think the thing is this, right? It depends how you want to come across in marketing, because if you want to kind of appeal to the younger generation, then you're going to be doing like memes and all that kind of stuff. But I'm not sure if that's the kind of image that Hedera want, right? Because when you think about Hedera, they're bringing out things that are good for like enterprises and institutions. So do they really want to have that kind of young approach to their network, or do they want to kind of be taken a bit more seriously? So I think that's debatable, because I don't think there's nothing wrong with trying to capture that audience. But again, is it kind of going to be a thing of the expense of then going to institutions and enterprises, and they might look at the channel and say, well, you know, all I'm seeing is like memes and GIFs and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just like, what's going on here kind of thing. So I can kind of see it from both sides in that regard. But yeah, like my question is in regards to the marketing officer and the SVP of communications, like who you're being replaced by. That's what it ultimately comes down to. Now, you know, who they are replaced by, these might be people who we don't know. You know, like these could be people who we've just never heard of before. So it's kind of going to be a thing of like show and tell, really. Like we will have to see. Eric Piscini, I've never really heard of him personally myself, so can't really speak on him. Charles Adkins has been with Hedera for a little while now, a couple of months maybe, something like that. Not that long, because I covered when he joined Hedera, so I know his tenure hasn't been that long right now. But so far so good. I've not seen anything that would give me any kind of concerns about him, and his background is extensive. He's worked with some very big corporations, so he's definitely got the experience in terms of his background and whatnot. So I've got confidence in him doing a good job, to be honest with you. But we will have to see. But to me, does this overall spark anything bad for Hedera? No, because nothing's really changing. That's what you've got to understand here. Like, Hedera is still going to continue to operate. Charles Adkins was there anyway, so he's just going to basically take on more leadership roles. And Mance and Leemon are going to continue to try and adopt Hedera as much as they can and accelerate the adoption of Hedera. So nothing's really changing, to be honest with you. It's more just how often are you really going to see Mance and Leemon now. I think it really will be a bit more of a rare occurrence than like a regular thing. But hey, if they're continuing to work behind the scenes, they're trying to continue to help Hedera and HBAR get adopted and build value. So would you not rather that anyway? Do you know what I mean? Like, I get like we'll miss them in terms of just seeing them around and just hearing from them more frequently. But at the same time, if they're continuing to help Hedera move on and build itself up, then I'd kind of rather that, because that's what's going to help with the value of HBAR, right? That's what's going to help build up the price. So the more that they try and, build on the network, try and help build new use cases, try and get new partnerships, that kind of thing, that's the stuff that's really going to add value to HBAR, right? So yeah, overall, I'm not really fazed by this, but I thought I'd just cover it for you guys because, I saw the post and I thought, I can already see some people getting a bit nervous, and I think some people have got it a bit misconstrued. But yeah, this is nothing really to worry about overall. I think everything will be fine. There's not really that much change in here. So yeah, it's nothing to be worried about for me personally. So just thought I'd cover this. But what do you guys think? Mance Harmon and Leemon Baird moving to Swirlds Labs. Do you like the sound of this? Do you prefer the fact that Mance and Leemon are moving to Swirlds Labs? Do you think that this will ultimately be good for HBAR's price? Or do you not like the sound of this? Do you not want Mance and Leemon to move from Hedera? Or do you just not think that this would be good for HBAR's price overall long term? Let me know your thoughts, guys. I'd be interested to hear. Thank you very much for watching this. If you did like it, please remember to drop a comment, like, and subscribe. But until next time, take care.